It was a normal day, and when we talked to the investigators, he was asking us, did we notice anything different, and we didn't.
We started a relationship with Kevin and Michelle Callahan at Callahan's restaurant across the street. They've started their business over there after, I guess, probably 3 other restaurants had failed. And so we were glad to see them make a go of it, for one thing, but just a wonderful couple to get to know.
Pastor Chet came to me one day, and he wanted to start a ministry with the truck stop up the road. That's 2 miles up the road from Callahan. And we decided that he would give out coupons for new families or for new people that came to the church.
We would give vouchers to visiting couples and families that were here for the first time, so that they could go there on Sunday after church and have a meal on the church. And we obviously picked up the tab for that. And so it was a great relationship with them.
Even though we weren't able to be in church, they always made us feel like we were part of their church family, right. even though we weren't able to be there.
On that particular day, we were sitting at the table in the kitchen, my wife and I, having supper.
We had been gone about an hour, and our manager, Jimmy Brown, called us hysterical. We had already gotten home.
We were home,
Chinese food, put our pajamas on, was ready to settle in for the night.
Yeah, we heard the fire sirens coming up the road, and knew that obviously somebody's in trouble. Well, when the sirens stopped right outside, I jumped out of the seat and went to the door to look, and as soon as I got to the door, I could see the flames leaping in the air, coming through the roof, and smoke pouring out of the building, and they were obviously setting up to start a firefight there. And I just hollered for Kathy, my wife, and said, I just, oh no, Callahan's is on fire.
We were both in shock, really. I mean,
It felt like a dream, like you were in a nightmare.
We were outside for the better part of 3 or 4 hours, directing traffic, routing the traffic through the church parking lot so that they could get around the fire scene. And we opened up the church here for people to get in. It actually became a downpour later on that helped in the firefighting effort, but it wasn't much help for those who were family members and workers and co-workers at the restaurant.
Not that we're prideful people, but we always helped others and never needed someone to help us. And insurance took 3 months before anything was paid out. So it was very hard.
For people who are friends, and particularly good friends, you feel their pain, you feel their emotion and the things they're going through. Obviously they've invested their lives into this business, and maybe everything that they had worked for, was going up in smoke. And so our hearts broke for them. So I asked the church board here at Piedmont to consider a gift to them.
And you would think, and people would have sympathy for your vendors. No,
they want their money.
And,
people you owe want their money, and we understand that. But the church was very kind and sent us a donation that helped us get through those first couple of weeks. And it was just wonderful.
As we discussed it in a board meeting, the question came up, well, don't they have insurance? And we can't do enough. We're not big enough as a church. And all of that just kind of fell by the wayside as we discovered that we didn't want to do it because we were going to take care of their financial need. We didn't want to do it because that we were a big church and was able to have excess funds, because I don't know any church that does, but we wanted to do it because we were good neighbors, and because we loved them, and we felt their pain, and we really felt like that we were part of this loss that the community had experienced, but most importantly their family had experienced.
That day we met with Kathy, we had a word of prayer, and it was I don't know, it was a settling prayer. It was like, this is going to be okay.
We were in the middle of a building project. We had already had the site prepared, and we were getting ready to break ground, pour footers, and get started on construction when the fire actually happened. And so when we began to talk about giving away money, that just doesn't compute in a secular economy. and conversation obviously turns to, well, can we do this? Can we afford to do this? And are we wise if we do? And I'm really proud of our board and our leadership team here, and how that they ultimately come down to the fact that you can't outgive God, and if we're faithful, He's faithful. And it's remarkable what we have accomplished here, what God has done for us in this building, and what we were able to pay up front in the construction costs and everything. And it has proved out since we completed the building, it's been proven to us that God has responded marvelously, miraculously, and has met every need. And we were able to do what we felt we needed to do, and still God took care of our needs, and that was amazing to me.